What's going on, guys? Welcome to another Choppin' It Up. We're gonna do it out here. Hopefully the wind is not too bad. If it is, we apologize.
Yes, we do.
Because that happens. We're out here in the beautiful parks of San Diego. I can actually see the moon.
Can we
right
talk
now.
about how it's February 16th and we're able to sit outside in tank tops? And
You make it sound like a privilege, man. I'm sweating.
I know, but like other people are literally
You're right.
sub-zero temperatures right now.
Yeah, some people are peeing and then the stream is freezing to them as they're peeing because it's... Anyways, we're chopping it up. So if you guys don't know about chopping it up, no edits, all one take. I think it's a very raw way to have a conversation without any scripts, without any like edits that change the way it is, or if like you mess up, you just keep going. It's very fun. This is Obesity, if you guys
Hello.
don't know.
I have YouTube channel. Go subscribe now.
He is the man. Yes, go check out his channel. He went, in case you don't have the background, he went from you went 360?
Yep.
360 to 200 pounds, then a little bit lower, then a little bit higher. We're like cutting and bulking now. He's gonna be competing with me in June.
Yes.
So all sorts of good stuff. If you don't know who he is, make sure you follow him so you are aware. But again, chopping it up.
Chopping it up.
They are the thing that I do when I want to get perspective on things that I don't have any perspective on. I think it's a very good way to get content out there that I can't speak on necessarily. So I thought it'd be interesting to talk to you, especially now since you've lost the weight and then you did your ultimate cut or whatever, but then you started bulking. Ultimate, bro.
The ultimate cut.
Yeah, like it's like the Unreal Championship.
I should start selling a cutting program called the Ultimate Cut.
Yeah, dude. 1999. But you did your big cut, and then like you got loose skin and stuff, and then you've lost like all this weight and stuff, and so then you went and bulked with me and LP lately because we're trying to put on this mass before the competition, before we do the contest prep. So I thought it would be interesting for you to kind of give ideas of like how has it been getting all that weight off, being stuck that you have the weight off, but then putting weight back on.
Oh yeah.
Like how's that affecting you mentally?
It's incredible how much, like, I can't explain how much like there's so much stuff that goes into it.
Absolutely.
And you don't realize, like, I've realized, luckily, because I mean, I've pretty much tracked everything since I lost the weight on YouTube, and with making videos, I've realized how many people struggle with losing weight and then having some sort of eating disorder, whether it's, bulimia, whether it's anorexia, whether it's just kind of orthorexia, where you're just afraid to eat certain foods. But there's just stuff that, like, you deal with when you lose a lot of weight. And that's something I started realizing once I lost weight and then started trying to eat more food. I realized that there was stuff that I needed to deal with. There was eating disorders. I hate saying like I was bulimic, or like, because I never think it was really that deep, but there was definitely, I didn't have a healthy relationship with food. That's how I say it. So, when I started bulking, or when I started thinking about bulking, I was terrified, man. Remember we would talk about it, like, I was like, we're gonna be bulking for 8 months or however long it was, and I was like, dude, I'm gonna gain 20 pounds in 2 weeks.
You were.
And I haven't even gained 20 pounds, and I'm really proud of how I was able to bulk, and like how I feel like I controlled it really well. But I will say that bulking is, trying to bulk in a correct way is immensely more difficult than trying to cut. At least for me, with the just the food things that I deal with, not having a healthy relationship with food. At one point I used to binge all the time when I was cutting. When I was cutting I don't even like calling it cutting, but when I was losing a lot of weight, I used to binge like crazy. Just like, restrict my calories to 700 calories a day, and then binge on like 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 calories in a night, So there's just like that stuff. And so it was really difficult trying to tell myself, okay, you're going to start gaining weight, but that's okay. But I mean, there's been steps that I've had to take. It's been really difficult. Sorry, I keep grabbing all these.
Grab the little dingleberries. There's little dingleberries all over the table.
I keep crushing them.
Don't be mad at us playing with all these balls, okay? No, I remember when you started playing. We're so dumb, dude. It's like the dumbest YouTubers on fitness.
It's true.
.com. Anyways, though, when you started bulking, I remember that you actually didn't bulk for like a long time.
Oh yeah.
Because like we'd recap every like couple days when we work out together, and you'd be like, "How's your bulk going?" And I'd be like, "Oh, it's pretty good, bro. I've been eating this, that, and then you'd be like, "Yeah, man.
Yeah, I ate an extra cup of broccoli."
Yeah. You're the longest period of time transitioning into being like, you know what? Actually, I think I can have 500 calories more than what I was, and it's still going fine.
Yeah.
It's
been. I can't explain how freeing it's felt, going from a position of just eating such a little amount of calories, thinking that's how I'm gonna have to live for the rest of my life, realizing that I can gain weight in a healthy way and in a controlled way, and knowing that this weight that I put on, maybe 12, 15 pounds, I mean, well, I'm going to cut more than that. But, you know, the weight that I put on since the beginning of the bulk, I know that I'm going to be able to take that off. And it's not that, I mean, yeah, it'll be a challenge, but it's not impossible. It's not something that I can't do. I know for a fact, 100% that I'll be able to do it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No
and
problem.
I really feel like it's helped me stop being the guy that's just like the guy that lost a lot of weight, but it's like I like fitness now. You know, I'm just a guy that understands how my body works. I understand how the things works, and it's just so freeing. And I mean, I can't explain how much I appreciate just this life that I live, you know, and like how much I appreciate you just being like literally any time that I had a question, like was like worried about stuff, I could just go to Brian and be like, dude, chill out, bro. And I'm like, oh, okay, all right. But yeah, it's been really good. And then as far as like, I know you were kind of interested in like the loose skin, so
yeah, I'm interested to see how you felt. Because you went to cut or whatever, you went as low body fat as you were gonna go, whatever, and then we started bulking. So you had the difference between the loose skin at your cuttest, so it was much more just loose skin, and now you've bulked a bit, and you filled out a little bit more fat.
Yeah,
there's
a little bit more fat.
So I want to hear the difference.
Yeah, it's really cool. I have a picture. I'll send it to you, so maybe you could just throw it on top of this. I know you don't like to edit these too much, but I have this picture where I have like it was like the beginning of the cut, and then like. It was like a couple weeks ago where I took the picture, and I feel like you can really see how the fat has distributed, and it's almost made the loose skin not look as bad. It's still there,
like not as dramatic.
Yeah, exactly. It's like it doesn't hang as much and stuff, so that's really cool. What I'm really excited about is seeing what's gonna happen, because I've read a lot of stuff, and like the loose skin can get helped a lot is if you put on fat and then cut to where like you get a really low body fat. Now I'm not looking like as far as going on stage, I'm not looking to get like 3% body fat. Like I'm not trying. I want to be healthy. Like that's my main goal. But I am interested to see what happens when I do get to where like because I plan on getting lower than I've ever been. Yeah. You know, because I think I can still do that in a healthy way. But I'm really excited to see how that's been. And another thing I wanted to bring up. This is kind of
baby?
Bring it back to what we're
talking
talking
about
all
before.
Over the place. But my metabolism has just improved a ton.
Vastly.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. Like. Because when you start cutting and when you're losing a ton of weight, everyone's first action is to like cut calories, and then you seeing results. You start cutting and cutting and cutting and cutting to where you're barely eating anything at all. Yep. And everyone knows that when you start doing that, you get the metabolic damage. Your metabolism just goes terrible. It's like you eat 1,000 calories, you can gain weight on that. So I was struggling with that. So like eating more food, but still like I think it's important to when you're eating more food, continue working out and trying to work harder and harder and harder every workout, you know, to build that muscle. But building the muscle has helped my metabolism, and I'm really excited to see how many calories I can cut on during this cut, because I really think I'm planning on starting at like 3,000, just seeing how I feel, what happens when I'm eating 3,000. Because right now I'm not even really tracking too much. I'm just kind of eating. Yeah. So I'm gonna see what happens at 3,000 and just trying to cut literally just slightly, because I don't want to get down to eating like 1,200 calories a day.
Yeah, well, and this cut's different than the original ultimate cut that you the ultimate cut. You weren't even, I mean, maybe you were lifting here and there, whatever, but you weren't concerned about like, oh man, I'm really trying to preserve my muscle mass and lose a small amount of fat to retain as much lean muscle as possible. This time, you are worried about that.
Yeah, I almost, sometimes I wonder how much muscle I lost when I cut, like,
probably an immense amount.
Much, dude.
Probably so much, man.
Because I was eating, like, there was a point where I was eating literally like 500 to 700 calories a day. Salad, an apple, and because I was terrified of food, man.
Yeah.
So.
Well, like you're saying, your relationship with food back then was terrible.
It was like an all or nothing situation.
Yeah.
That's how I felt.
Because as you dieted more and you saw results in terms of losing fat or the scale moving, your relationship with food, it was like it was moving farther away from you. You're like, that is so bad.
Yeah,
I'm so glad I'm
food
away
to me
from
became
that
an
drug.
enemy. Yeah.
Even though it's not a drug.
Yeah, at all. It's part of how you live.
Balance.
You know what I mean? And that's why I mean, if you've never been to my channel, or if you decide to go to my channel right after this, you'll notice that I talk a lot about binging and about food, because especially when it comes to like, extreme weight loss, when you're trying to lose a lot of weight, that is important. It is more important than anything else. Like I'll tell people, 90% of weight loss is going to happen in the kitchen. You know, your workouts are important. I think you should go to the gym or like find a way to work out, but your food is the most important. So that's why I talk about it a lot, and I love talking about it, because I don't think people realize, especially with like the media nowadays, they don't realize how important food is when it comes to weight loss, when it comes to fitness in general. Because you see like these like 90-minute ab blaster workouts, and then like the body boot camp videos, and it's like they'll talk about like the whole workout schedule for like 30 minutes, and then 10 seconds at the end, must follow diet, and like you know what I mean, they just say it real quick, and the diet is what's getting you the results as far as fat loss is concerned. So that's why I talk a lot about diet, because it's you just feel like you're in this sort of like jail cell when you feel like you're you don't know what's going on. You don't understand why. Why am I gaining weight? Why am I losing weight so fast? What's going on? You just feel like you're just lost. And so realizing how calories affect you and stuff, it's really eye-opening. It's really like, it feels like a weight gets lifted off your the weight does get lifted off your chest, but like
I think what's really valuable about your the way you're going about this and the way your story is going, is there's a lot of people you can follow their ultimate cut, and that's what they did. Or you can follow a lot of people like me, where you're following the hodgepodge, like 8 months bulk, 4 months cut, 8 months bulk, like that type of thing, right? So what I think is really cool about you is you did your ultimate cut, so people saw that, and people who need to do their ultimate cut are gonna see that and be like, damn, dude, like right now I'm 400 and I want to get down to 180 or something like that, right? So they can see that original thing you did, the ultimate cut, and apply it to themselves, right? And they'll work their way into doing that and losing the hundreds of pounds or whatever. But then it's also cool that while they're looking at your older transformation and seeing how that all works and how you talk about that and whatnot, they also can come to the current videos and see how you're now comfortable with your weight and understanding it more to the point that you're able to do certain periods of time for 6, 7, 8 months where you're not getting fat. It's not like, oh, it's okay to get fat now. Yeah. But you're like comfortable with food. If you want to go eat, you can go eat.
Yeah, exactly. I can have a Twinkie if I want one. It's not I would never have a Twinkie because those are disgusting. But the cupcake ones with the little swirls, those are way better. Yeah. But like I can eat something like that and it's not gonna make me gain 20 pounds. You know? And I literally used to think like that. Like if I ate something like that, I was gonna gain 10 pounds. Yeah, automatically.
I think it's so like not the only way, because some people are very obsessive and they'll be able to handle anything. But I feel like the best way to handle doing life is you need to, like, I mean, at least if you're gonna do like the whole lifting thing and fitness thing, it's like you need to have times where you do live and you don't freak out about every single macro. And it becomes, because like when I started tracking macros when I was cutting, like it became obsessive and I couldn't go out to eat. I couldn't ever. Now I think tracking macros is great and I plan on doing that when I start this cut. Yes. But I don't think, like, if you're tracking, I don't think it's sustainable to track 365 days a year. I just don't. It's not healthy. It would be like having a very difficult statistics class every day for an entire year. Yeah, exactly. And then try to get through that for 4 years, you get your degree. But then if you had to do that for 25 more years, 50 years, you're going to eventually be like, I hate this statistics class. I'm over it. So I think it's important to, like we've been saying, like have that break in between where you're like, I can live life. Oh, now I want to lose 15 pounds. Yeah. So now I can, and also having the knowledge to know that, like, I know how to do, I know how to lose fat. Yeah. So I can, for now, go to Belize and with my girlfriend for 2 months and we can let it go and enjoy ourselves. I come back, maybe I'm 10 pounds heavier, but I know in my mind that 2.5 months, 3 months, I can get that 10 pounds away. Things like that. Exactly.
If I could, like, maybe give a last message to...
Give your last message.
If there's somebody that's watching this that, is morbidly obese and you just feel like there's no way that you can get to where, I don't want to say where I'm at, but like, to where you want to be, just understand that it does take a lot of time. Like, it's been 3+ years since I was 360 pounds, right? But it seems like that's a long time, but I promise you, once you get to where you want to be, you'll realize, okay, that wasn't that big of a deal as far as how long that took. But when you're in it, it is going to feel, and it's an everyday thing, an every meal thing. So just take every day as its own day, and if you mess up, just understand tomorrow's a new day, because it's when you start binging and when you start really feeling like, oh my gosh, I messed up, now I'm just gonna keep going because there's no point. That's when you start, obviously reverting back to the old you that you are trying to beat. So just understand that every day is its own day, but it might seem like 3 years is a long time, but once you get there, you know how it is, hindsight's 20/20. Once you get there, you'll realize, oh my gosh, okay, I'm here now, and I'm glad that I did all the steps that I had to take. So.
Absolutely. Yeah. I love that. Ever since I was a kid, I got to this one point where I was having to do like certain things that I was like, man, I'm just really not looking forward to, like doing this 12-page research report or whatever. I would always just tell myself, like, yo, in 1 week or 2 weeks or whatever amount of time, you're gonna be looking backwards at this and being like, I'm glad that's over. So like it would, even though I still had the work to do, I'd be like, at some point I'm gonna think again and then this is gonna be gone. So I might as well just get it done and then it'll be done. Exactly. Not that that's gonna like make everything easy for you. Yeah, absolutely. But you like start getting into a routine and then you realize that like 6 months have gone by and I've made like 40 pounds progress.
Yeah,
like,
exactly. And it's possible. And I hate sounding cheesy, but if I did it, you can, because I'm not special when it comes to this, like I just followed the rules that are there that work for everybody. It's calories in versus calories out. You know, some days are going to be harder than the others. The way that I thought of it was, if I can do it this day, I can do it the next day. And if I can, you know, it's just take it day by day. I know I already said that, but that's the best advice I can really give to somebody.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. Anything else?
I love you guys, and I'm hungry.
Yeah, we both just finished a workout, so we wanted to record this before we went and ate. We're gonna get some pho, which is rice noodles from the Vietnamese culture, and it is freaking delicious.
Yeah, it's life.
Oh my gosh, it's life. Anyway, so I just thought this would be an interesting subject for him to give his opinion on how, you know, how everything's made him feel in terms of the ultimate cut, then bulking, then cutting, loose skin, all that stuff. I think it's very interesting, and I think also, like, a lot of people might be like, man, I've heard you guys talk about this subject before. You know, I've heard this before, but I feel like your perspective is always evolving.
Yeah, yeah.
And,
oh, definitely.
And it's not like you're talking about like, oh yeah, I was 360 pounds, and that's like so long ago that it's like another person.
Yeah.
It is, but in another way, it's like you're still like, this is the continued story from when you were starting that ultimate cut.
Yeah.
I just like saying that.
I know you do. No, like, I get this a lot. Like, people say you talk about like loose skin too much and stuff, but I think that people that don't have loose skin don't realize that it's something that I deal with every day. You know, when I get out of the shower and look in the mirror, I have loose skin. You know, when I go work out, I have loose skin. When I run, I have loose skin. So like, it's always on my mind. Now, does that mean something that I want to get it chopped off right now? No, but it's something that I struggle with. You know, like, so that's kind of why I feel like I talk about it a lot. Maybe too much to some people, but I mean, it's part of my life. It's part of my life.
Like I was saying, the perspective always changes. So the way that you look at it, and the things that you have, like tips and ideas, and the ways you're like confronting it, and the way that it's making you feel, it's always evolving. So it's important to like share it with people, because other people are going through the same thing, and maybe they haven't gotten to that part of the road that you're on. So you can be like, yo, on this part of the road, like, I mean, the green light is over here and the street light's yellow and stuff, and it makes me kind of feel like, you know, a little bit alone, but then
the way I was thinking about it was like, okay, people get upset when you talk about like loose skin too much because it's taboo. Because there's people that all their videos are on full days of eating, or, you know, the same thing over and over and over again, and there's nothing wrong with that, because people, like, food is fine, and that's not weird at all. But people see loose skin as like a weird thing, so that's why they're like, you talk about it too much because it's kind of weird to me. Which is fine, you know, I get where you're coming from, but I think that's what it is, honestly.
Yeah.
So
I agree. I just think it's interesting to hear all this stuff, especially stuff that I have no perspective on.
And I really do love talking about it, because there's not that many people doing it on YouTube. Yeah. And, you know, there's an audience for everything, I think, personally, so might as well talk about it if I can.
I think it's valuable. Anyways, there's the Chopping It Up. Just thought we'd park over here at the park, and
there's literally kids like playing right in front of us.
Yeah, they think we're like super weird. We're like
they do
talking so seriously about stuff, and they're like in the Ford car over here bouncing around and whatnot, sucking on a little water bottle and stuff. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the Chopping It Up. I hope it gave you some like interesting perspective, especially like I was saying, if you're someone like me who doesn't have experience with this, it's interesting to hear. And if you're someone who's actually dealing with some of the issues you're dealing with, I hope this kind of like gave you some insight, gave you some new thoughts, sparked some new ideas for yourself even. There's a loud motorcycles coming this way.
No.
Good. You stay over there. If you liked the video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Let us know what you thought as you were watching the video. Maybe something sparked in your head. Leave a comment. Let us know what you thought below. And if you're not subscribed to John already,
I would highly, highly appreciate that.
The link is right there. Go check him out. If you like him, subscribe to him. I like him. You better subscribe to him. Team Beyond the Week. CT.
Lift heavy or die, MIRIN, motherfucker.